Lord Alamar is an Erothian warlock of great power and prominence. A decorated hero and leader, he participated in both the Erothian Wars of Succession. Even though he was on the losing side, his prowess in both might and magic earned the respect of his Iron Fist enemies. When Lord Morglin Iron Fist was forced to flee his homeland through a magical portal, he found himself in a strange and uncharted land called Enroth. Since his cousin Ragnar had usurped the throne, Morglin, with the aid of his trusted knights, decided to form up a new kingdom in Enroth. At that time, Enroth was unruled and contested by three other lords of great power: the barbarian Lord Slayer, the sorceress Queen Lamanda, and the warlock Lord Alamar. This was the setting of the first war of Enrothian succession. Lord Alamar and his rivals vied for supreme control of Enroth, battling one another for the town of Gateway, rulership of the archipelago of the Ancients, possession of the Eye of Goros, and the mainland itself. Out of all his enemies, Lord Iron Fist displayed a deep respect for Lord Alamar, chastising his cousin Ragnar Iron Fist as a groveling beggar in the wake of the warlock's power. After Slayer and Lamanda were defeated, Iron Fist and Alamar warred directly. When Alamar launched a sweeping attack on Iron Fist's homeland, Lord Morglin was forced to teleport home and abandoned his offensive. Ultimately, however, Iron Fist succeeded in breaching the warlord's capital city and sundered its walls. Despite his brilliance, Alamar's might proved inferior to Lord Iron Fist's, and he was cast down. Though defeated, Alamar escaped with his life, and to the distant realms. In the meantime, Morglin Iron Fist was ultimately crowned as ruler of the kingdom of Enroth. 25 years after Alamar's fall, Morglin Iron Fist died, and his sons, Roland and Archibald, plunged the kingdom of Enroth into a tumultuous civil war, thus starting the Second War of the Enrothian Succession. Sensing an opportunity, Lord Alamar resurfaced and rejoined the ranks of his warlock brethren. Alamar served under Archibald Iron Fist over the ensuing months. This allegiance was pledged in folly, as Archibald was defeated and his followers were denounced by the new king, Roland Iron Fist. Once again, Alamar, using his magical powers, managed to escape. However, Enroth was now off limits, as the new king was poised to find out all of his former enemies and destroy them. Alamar fled Enroth and traveled to Antagarich. He soon found out that there was a warlock kingdom in Antagarich as well, on the Isle of Nion. Taking up new residence upon the island, Alamar participated in Nion's invasion of Erathia. During the Restoration Wars, he fought bravely, but was eventually driven back by Queen Catherine. Upon his return to Nion, he was imprisoned in the deep caverns, presumably by Ordwald. When Mutar passed through the caves, she released the warlock, who subsequently served her cause. With Alamar's aid, Mutar managed to acquire the vial of dragon blood and transform herself to a dragon. Together they defeated Ordwald, and Mutar was crowned the new Queen of Nion, with Alamar by her side. This didn't last long though, as Mutar was planning on taking over the world by controlling all the dragons. The ancestors sent the immortal hero Tarnum to defeat her. In what is known as the Clash of Dragons, Mutar and Tarnum battled one another until her defeat. Wounded, she retreated to Nion, where her situational weakness allowed other power-hungry lords of Nion to claim her life, ending the Dragon Queen's reign. Lord Alamar managed to escape this fate and followed along the new regime. A few years later, the Reckoning happened, wiping out all of Antagarich and Enroth. It is not clear what Alamar's fate was. Since no one had seen him on Axioth, he is mostly considered to have perished either before or during the Reckoning. However, since this is not confirmed, he still might be alive somewhere, waiting for a chance to return to power. Lord Alamar was unfortunate enough to always back the losing side of the wars he participated in. It is noteworthy, however, that he outlived most of his enemies and even his allies during these wars. Beyond his most infamous traits, as a powerful warlock, as an intelligent tactician, and the most feared and respected adversary, there is one trait that complements Alamar the most, and stands as his most defining one. He was a survivor. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe on this channel and consider supporting me on Patreon. Leave a comment below to let me know what other part of Heroes 3 lore you would like to be explored next. Cheers!